What's going on YouTube? It's your boy, Jeremy Warman. I'm coming at you with another video. And when it comes to Assassin's Creed Shadows, this game's dead. It came out the gates dead. It doesn't matter how many times you end up having Assassin's Creed come out here boasting about 3 million players, which by the way, we haven't seen an update to for now over a week. But it doesn't matter how many times they say this. It doesn't matter how many times they go on about how it was the second highest day one sales revenue in Assassin's Creed franchise history. It doesn't matter if they say biggest Ubisoft day one ever on PlayStation Digital Store, or even best community ever with over 40 million hours already played. It doesn't matter. This was always a marketing stunt. This was always a marketing ploy. This isn't actual sales data. This isn't actual sales revenue. And even when we come over to here to SteamDB, we can already see that it never peaked higher than 64,000 players concurrently on their platform and has consistently been dwindling ever since its initial weekend. This game is dead. It was never going to produce a profit, and it was all done by Ubisoft's own mismanagement and failures to actually try to cater to an actual audience and instead produce slop over slop every single time, thinking that would actually equate to good sales when in reality it just equates to people walking away. And I bring this all up because recently we ended up seeing what Ubisoft actually was trying to cater to and what Ubisoft actually was going to be spending its money on trying to promote this game. And we can come over here to LinkedIn where we saw that they decided it was a smart idea to spend $2.1 million on influencers to try to secure the launch for Assassin's Creed Shadows. This was them going out there, doing brand deals, doing connections with different Twitch streamers, YouTubers, doing all sorts of stuff to try to build hype. They spent $2.1 million on this, and this is just some of their overall marketing ploy to try to build interest in this video game. But what we ended up seeing was also some more information come out about this report here, and it's honestly kind of shocking because we can come over here to Grums that has the quote tweets, and this is the main reason I want to do it, in which we ended up seeing that yes, Ubisoft thought that there was a clever idea to go out to Hassan Piker and give him a sponsorship deal to play the video game to try to help produce sales for said video game. They thought that this was a clever idea, mainly because he's one of the largest Twitch streamers out there. But the thing is, he's not a video game streamer. He's always been a political commentator. He cuts his teeth on being a communist propagandist, and that's all he does. He defends terrorists, and he's a propagandist. That's what Hassan Piker is. But Ubisoft, fully knowing this, still thought, hey, because he has such a large audience, it would be a smart idea to go to Hassan Piker to try to convince them to come out here and buy the game. Even though Hassan Piker's audience is commies, they still thought it was a smart idea. Well, we ended up seeing just how much money Ubisoft spent on Hassan alone. Ubisoft allegedly paid Hassan Piker more than $76,000 to promote Assassin's Creed Shadows. Now, again, this is all coming from this $2.1 million report here. And we can even scroll on down to some of the numbers that Hassan Piker was even showing. And we can see that when we get right on down here to the actual streamers, you see it right here. Estimated revenue, Hassan Piker over on Twitch, they paid him around $76,000 to promote this game, push this game, and even gave him a sponsorship deal. A sponsorship deal means he even gets a cut of every copy he sells through his link. So even that is giving him more money. This is just the baseline deal. This isn't taking into account all the money he would have made through the sponsorship. This is how insane Ubisoft is. But we get even more insane when we actually read up on all of this. And we start scrolling on down here and we start seeing some of the actual numbers. While Ubisoft spent an estimated $76,000 on Piker, Lombardi believes that they likely spent more than that on him. He stated, "I'm not sure I understand the specific strategy Ubisoft went for when it comes to creators selection. On Twitch, they choose Hassan Abi as their champion. I imagine he was actually far more expensive than the estimate above, as a creator his size gets to charge a premium." That's also something people need to take into account. He also gets a set, hey, I have this much viewership, you're going to be giving me this much money. Now that could be why they decided to actually give him a sponsorship link so that he gets some of that money flowing through there. He gets a cut of all revenue that they actually get from selling each of these games. Could be a part of that whole premium deal. And I already said, there's no way he didn't make more than that $76,000. viewers because he had that sponsorship deal. So you already see where their priorities are, but it keeps getting more interesting as we continue on because it doesn't even look like they even got the amount of money that they wanted from all this. He added, but more specifically, Hassan barely streams gaming content, and when he does, it's almost always sponsored. Hassan's Assassin's Creed stream came in at half the viewership his streams normally do, which indicates a lack of interest from his core audience because Hassan's a political propagandist. He's not a game streamer. He doesn't do video game reviews. He doesn't do any of this stuff. He's only doing this because you gave him money. And when we actually look at his Twitch data right here and we see how many people actually watched his stream, it's night and day comparison. But we look right here. Looking at Twitch tracker data, Piker has only streamed Assassin's Creed Shadows for 4.5 hours and got a max viewership of 28,558 and an average viewership of 18,732. In comparison to Assassin's Creed Valhalla, he streamed that game for 15.5 hours, had an average viewership of 20,609 and max viewers of 43,143. So he already cut down the amount of people that were even watching his content to begin with. He wasn't marketing this to anybody in the grand scheme of things. How many of these people actually even ended up buying this game? Probably none of them. He wasn't even targeting any of this stuff. That's why this whole idea was insane. All they saw was big viewership. Look, he's like the 4th largest Twitch streamer in the entire world. Let's go with him. But the problem is he doesn't even do gaming content. He does political commentary and political propaganda and just screams all day about frickin' Ethan Klein. He was never a good idea to actually partner up with because you're not even targeting your actual audience. You're targeting people that were never going to be interested in your game to begin with, but you still spent so much money on him that this all cuts into your overall marketing budget and ultimately produced nothing in return. And again, this is not new for Ubisoft. None of this is new for Ubisoft as of right now. Remember, they did this during Star Wars Outlaws. Well, at least here they had a bunch of Star Wars streamers come out here to do all this. During this time, they had a bunch of Star Wars shills. They shipped them out to Disneyland. They showed them the game early. They gave them $100 per diem, which was free money to do whatever the heck they wanted to do with. They gave them this whole entire luxury vacation. And when they did all that, that increased the marketing for Star Wars Outlaws, which then cut into their bottom dollar budget, which then made it even more unlikely for this game to ever break even on its budget. So now you see them doing very similar tactics with Assassin's Creed Shadows. This is cutting into their bottom dollar. This is making it more and more unlikely to break even, and this is gonna hurt them in the long run. And it's no wonder people are still talking about the potentiality of Ubisoft just going bankrupt, even following the Tencent deal. It's no wonder Ubisoft is still going out there having to shutter down studios because they can't afford it anymore. And it's no wonder investors are coming out here saying, hey, we'll change the Tencent deal to just a flat bottom sale because it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, the Guillemot family is still in control. They're still going to keep doing the same idiotic tactics that they keep doing over and over again, thinking they're finally going to see results when in the grand scheme of things, all it's doing is hurting the shareholders' dollars. It's making the shareholders go broke, and the shareholders want an actual return on investment at this point in time. So they're saying just sell it to Tencent and get it all over with. This is why this is all happening. This is all due to the fundamental mismanagement of Ubisoft and a condemnation on the Guillemot family and everything that they've been trying to do for the past several years. This is what they care more about. They care more about schmoozing up with big-time creators than actually delivering a well-produced product. But hey, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. But I'm going to leave it there, guys. Let me get you guys' thoughts on all this down in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Shout out, friends, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video and go live, guys. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.